Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers, we are out here. We're live streaming deep divers. We got a whole lot to talk about. I'm sending everybody in the chat tons of good ass energy. Take that, take that, take that. Deep divers. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I told you, deep divers. We got a whole lot to talk about. I'm just warming up. Shout out to everybody in the chat, deep divers. Everybody who's diving deep. And if you haven't seen deep divers, check out the new videos. Check out the new video on anger management. Enlightening video. Now, we're getting back to business, deep divers. That's the business of deep diving. That's the business of deep diving, deep divers. Let me just start off with this, deep divers. Marcos 44, the powerful who have ruled the world are going down. We're just starting off like that, deep divers. We're just warming up. We're just warming up, deep divers. And like I told you, I always say, if you have music to send me, deep divers, I will play it on infinite waters. If you have music to send me it. Okay? This wonderful soul sent me their music. And what did I do? I just played it.
Yeah. Shout out Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart, Brian Divisions. Yeah. We ain't need no 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, that's unlikely. We in 5D, the fifth dimensional reality. No 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, that's unlikely. We in that 5D, that fifth dimensional reality. Yeah, I don't need no 5G because I live in 5D. I don't need new towers, I just need more of them pine trees. So when I kick it, then you know just where you'll find me. And if you ask, then you know just what the time be. It's now. I'm in the present, in the clouds, but both feet on the ground. To Mother Gaia, connecting to the source all around. These waters are so infinite, frequencies all surround. Enter and exit my cells through the miracle of sound. But I prefer the natural vibes over those from Cell Tower. You are so quick to roll it out with no test on its true power. Maybe you should just take your time, give it more than just an hour, and think about the effect you can cause, so don't hide or cower. But we know why, it's the need to constantly progress. Money, power, and success, fear there won't be crumbs left if you're not the one who doesn't win the war or conquest. And prove to the world that you simply think that you are the best. But the real step is to get to 5D, an emotionally open, true and loving light being. Not holding grudges or creating blame for fighting, but shining all your truth and light that is so blinding. Light to the darkness, let's take this time and mark this down as the first step of reaping all our harvest. Yeah, ain't it marvelous? We're all life artists, just as smart as Ralph. We're creators who all thought this. So let's unite, without a fear, and bring the light to those we're near. No 5G tower can devour the connection to this planet that is always ours. No 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, that's unlikely. We in 5D, the fifth dimensional reality. No 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, we in 5D. We ain't need no 5G, that's unlikely. We in that 5D, that fifth dimensional reality. Yeah.
Yeah. Woo! Deep divers, I always gotta start these live streams with a song like that. With a song like that. Kelsey, I appreciate you. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody diving deep. And deep divers, we got a whole lot to talk about, but please, if you can, get me some breakfast. if you can, deep divers, get me some breakfast, because I've been in nature all day, all night, and we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? Deep divers, what's really going on? A great awakening is what's going on. So I woke up and this was on the news, deep divers. Ghislaine Maxwell arrested. Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's madam and friend of Prince Andrew, is arrested in New Hampshire by the FBI on child sex trafficking charges and will appear in court later today. This is huge, deep divers. This is huge. Because this just shows me so many people right now on the planet are waking up. This just shows me the great awakening is here. This just shows me that justice is being restored on the planet. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep divers, how's your day going? I told you, deep divers, we got a lot to talk about, so nothing is gonna stop this. Nothing is gonna stop this. I like that. I like that. I like that. Go with glory. Shout out to you. We just happen. Can never stop us. You can't stop us, deep divers. They can't stop us. They can't stop us. So I want to remind you, deep divers, this is big news that Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested. And I want to remind you that in 2019, I predicted everything that's happening on the planet right now. I told you that COVID-19 would come on the planet. I told you that the hidden will come to light. And a lot of these people who were ruling on the planet are going to get exposed for who they really are. You see, deep divers, a great awakening is happening right now on the planet. Huge awakening is happening on the planet right now. And it's not because I'm saying it. It's because of what's going on within people all around the planet. Oh, the Archons are in big trouble, deep divers. You see, they're in big trouble. You see, deep divers, a lot of people aren't ready to dive deep. A lot of people aren't ready to see the truth. That's why in that movie they said, you want the truth? You can't handle the truth. The world you live in is not what you think it is. And like Shakespeare said, the whole world is a stage. And we are all actors, deep divers. We are all actors. Deep divers, I told you, we're just warming up. You better get ready for this. We had to drop a truth bomb for that, deep divers. So I want to remind you, deep divers, what's really going on is that people all around the world are no longer drinking the Kool-Aid. Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's madam and friend of Prince Andrew, is arrested in New Hampshire by the FBI on child sex trafficking charges and will appear in court later today. So, what is this all about here? Let's hope that she stays alive, because she has a lot of information about what was really going on that island. She has a lot of information about what was really going on with the elites on that island. And I told you, this is the year of full disclosure, deep divers. It's the year of full disclosure. Full disclosure. It is the time, deep divers, where the lion, oh, look at that, deep divers, the lions are coming to roar again. It is the time of no longer being a sheep in the system and blindly following. It's a time of being a lion once again. What's really going on, deep divers? It's over. That's what's really going on. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep divers, I told you, I'm just warming up. I'm just warming up. Awakening Spirit, shout out to you. Shout out to Awakening Spirit. And that's beautiful, Awakening Spirit. Love is taking back what belongs to us. What? Slow motion this side. Say it again. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Awakening Spirit. Wait a minute.
Let's get ready to rumble!
It's time to get ready to rumble, deep divers. Absolutely. That's a profound statement. Love is taking back what belongs to us. You see, deep divers, I want to remind you of this. You have been given a way to live. And just like in 1984, just like in the book 1984, this is how they controlled you, deep divers. They said, war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. That's why a lot of people are on their knees. This is what they want for you. This is what they want for the rest of your life. This is what they want for you in the up and coming months. They want to turn you into a human barcode. This is the airport security check they want to implement. This is the vaccination they want to give to your children. Deep divers, there is no American dream. There's only an American nightmare. What? Slow motion this side. What's really going on, deep divers? Doesn't it seem like the whole world has changed? Don't cough, deep divers. Hold your coughing. Do not cough near me because there's a virus going around. It's called COVID-19. Deep divers. You see, I want to remind you, wisdom is power. Wisdom is power. Wisdom is power. So let's talk about Ghislaine Maxwell for a little while. She was on the run, we were told. But I told you, the whole world is a stage and we are all actors. So remind yourself of this, deep divers. When Jeffrey Epstein commits suicide, allegedly, nobody could find out where she was, and now they've found her. But they already knew where she was, deep divers. But you don't hear me, though. Because I told you, the whole world is a stage. And this is another distraction. You see, the first major distraction was COVID-19. This was the first distraction. This was the first distraction, deep divers. This was the big distraction. Because this put a lot of people in fear. This put a lot of people in fear. But now people are starting to wake up. People are starting to realize they aren't that powerful. Who aren't that powerful? they aren't that powerful. They're not as powerful as you thought. They rely on your ignorance. They rely on your stupidity. And they rely on you being gullible. They've turned the world into a horror movie, deep divers. And I want to remind you, right now, love is reigning supreme. Love is reigning supreme. Because deep divers, I told you, the hidden will come to light. The truth will prevail. There is something, a chemical called adrenochrome, deep divers. And this chemical is highly sought after. Highly sought after. It's very hard to get hold of. But it's only for those who have a lot of money to spend. And adrenochrome is fear. Adrenaline from young children who have been trafficked. And this is what the full disclosure is all about. Pizza Express. Pizza Express. Harvesting the energy of young children, getting the adrenochrome. This is what keeps them young. This is what they need to survive. But I told you, right now, Ghislaine Maxwell is the missing link because she knows everything what really happened. She was the closest one to Jeffrey. So let's hope she stays alive. Tinkerbell, shout out to you. I appreciate you. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep divers. Let me drop a bomb for you. Let me give a round of applause, deep divers. Let me give a round of applause to everybody who's awakening right now. To everybody who's awakening right now, deep divers, congratulations. To everybody who's awakening right now, congratulations. Congratulations, deep divers. Love is taking back what belongs to us. Absolutely. Deep divers, how's your day going? How's your day going? You see, I want to remind you, deep divers, it's game over. It's game over. Deep divers. I used to play Mario. And what I see happening right now is a big game over. Big game over. Shout out to everybody. It's a big game over. What's happened right now is that the world will never ever be the same again. You see, let me shout out to a few people in the chat. Jenna, shout out to you. I appreciate you. I got to give gratitude to everybody who's on this chat. The reason why it's game over, deep divers, is because people more than ever right now are starting to not drink the Kool-Aid. Let's take Bill Gates, for example. Bill Gates was one of the most loved people when it came to technology. But now people are saying, wait a minute, we don't want the vaccination. Because you see, deep divers, this is what this is all about. This is the future they want for your children. This is the future they want for your grandchildren. And if you don't do something about it, this is the future that you're going to have to live with for eternity. What kind of a life is this, deep divers? What kind of a life is this, deep divers? So you have to remind yourself right now you're in an experiment. They just hope you take the vaccine. That's all. Oh, sorry, deep divers. I just got incredibly real. Babylon has fallen. Absolutely. Babylon has fallen, deep divers. Babylon has fallen. And the reason why Babylon has fallen, shout out to you, Krav. The reason why Babylon has fallen, deep divers, is because I told you. This society is built on deception. This society is built on lies. This society is built on illusion. And all illusions must come to an end. What? Slow motion this side. I mean, they all had us, deep divers, because once upon a time, we were all fast asleep. We were all fast asleep, deep divers. Got him. Yeah, they got me too, deep divers. Jewel, I appreciate you. Shout out to Jewel. Thank you, Jewel. Speak the truth. Speak your truth. I'm speaking it, Jewel. I'm never going to stop. Speak your truth as well. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep divers were having fun. I told you. So this is the big news, deep divers, the breaking news. Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's madam and friend of Prince Andrew, is arrested in New Hampshire by the FBI on child sex trafficking charges and will appear in court later today. The reason why this is so important, deep divers, is because Ghislaine is the missing link to Pizzagate, to Pizza Express, to what's really going on in private islands all around the world, involving sex trafficking. You see, I told you, deep divers, the truth will set you free, but it will piss you off first. Shout out to everybody right now who feels like Neo in the Matrix. Congratulations. You are the one. 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 You see, deep divers, I want to remind you that you have to be very mindful. The whole world is a stage. And everything they tell you in the media, is part of the script. So Ghislaine Maxwell, they already found her long time ago. But now is the right time to reveal it to the public. See, I told you, you have to be mindful of these distractions. It's all a distraction to take you away from yourself. You got to remind yourself, deep divers, the only thing that should matter is this. Let me play the music, deep divers. Hey, we just zoned out, deep divers. We just had a little meditation, deep divers. See, that's the only thing that should matter. You tuning into who you really are, deep divers. I told you. You have to tune in to tune all of that out. What? Slow motion this side. You have to tune in to tune all of that out. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep divers, I'm here for you. I'm here for you, baby. Oh yes, the pineal gland is being stimulated. Shout out to everybody diving deep. You see, deep divers, there's a reason why. I love that. I love that. Break the cycle. Shout out to Break the Cycle in the chat. What you said was profound, because you said the truth, our truth, is bigger than their illusion. What? Say it again, Ralph. Our truth is bigger than their illusion. You see, deep divers, let's talk about the New World Order. Do you remember what George Bush Sr. said when he was speaking about the New World Order? And when we are successful, and we will be, this is the New World Order, deep divers, they want for you. This is the New World Order they want for you. And guess what? They don't want you to shut up about it. They just want you to shut up and listen. You see, so I want to remind you, we are the power, deep divers. Start to open your mind. Start to do the research. Start to ask yourself, hey, wait a minute. Why are they censoring people? You see, deep divers, our truth is bigger than their illusion. Our truth is bigger than their illusion. And that's why I told you, we already won. We already won. Let's celebrate. We already won. I like that. Our truth is bigger than their illusion. Absolutely. Shout out to everybody diving deep. Deep divers, what's really going on? Let's talk about it. I told you that the masks and everything else is part of getting people into AI, artificial technology, artificial intelligence, artificial human beings. It's all about turning you into the machine, turning you into the robot. And we have to say, wait a minute. I would rather just be right now, to be honest. This is our power. This is where we find power. This right here is where we find power, deep divers. So I want to remind yourself, I want you to remind yourself every single day. When you are in the love vibration, they can't reach you. They can't affect you. They can't harm you. Nothing can happen to you when you're in the love vibration. Let me play some music, deep divers. We just zoned out, deep divers. See, the reason why I do this is because just to remind you, deep divers, there's another reality. You see, oh, shout out to you. Myra, I appreciate you. Hey Ralph, I was wondering, how can I escape this world through astral projection? Can you give me tips or advice about it? Absolutely. In fact, I have a video coming up on astral projection. But like I say, always go within. Candice Simmons, I appreciate you. Thank you. Always go within. You see, this is where they can't affect you. They can't harm you, deep divers. When you are going within, they cannot harm you. When you are going on the journey within, deep divers, oh, we just zoned out again, deep divers. We did a little 432 hertz meditation, deep divers. See, that's what you need. That's how to astral project. Make sure, deep divers, you are tuning in to tune all of this out. That's how you get out of the matrix. That film Inception, that's what it was all about. It was about letting go of this illusion and entering your own unique dream world. You see, there are many worlds in this dimension, deep divers, many worlds within worlds. And I told you, you don't have to focus on what they want you to focus on. Because the reason why the cabal have so much power on everything, the reason why they can program people so easily, is because they are masters of deception. So if you look at a magician, deep divers, doing a little magic trick, Guy, I appreciate that. Respect, Ralph. Respect to you. Do you know any good software to change frequencies in the music? I'm looking to add that to our music. Wonderful. Okay. Absolutely. Let me just come to this 1 second. So this magician, deep divers, is showing this little girl a magic trick. How is he able to fool her? Because she is not looking at the sleight of hand. And this is how the cabal control everyone. They have you looking in the wrong place. They have you looking in the wrong place. And all of a sudden, you're deceived. So I want to remind yourself that you have to be aware how magic works. And this is how they deceive you. They've deceived you for thousands of years. But now, people are starting to wake up, deep divers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. People's eyes are oh my gosh! People's eyes are starting to open. Do you know how many people, deep divers, who I've met, who didn't used to be that awake, now they're awake? They're starting to wake up. They're starting to wake up, smell the coffee, deep divers. So, Guy, let me answer your question. You asked, what software do I use to change frequency in the music? Adobe Audition is fantastic. You can change the music to 432 hertz, 5 to 8 hertz. Fantastic software. Cubase is great as well. Logic is great. Sonar is great. But deep divers, a lot of people are waking up. A lot of people are waking up right now. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. You see, I told you, they wanted to start a race war. Black Lives Matter. Absolutely. Deep divers, but I told you, race is just an illusion. You don't want to fall into the trap of black and white, because the cabal don't have any colors, deep divers. They all get along just fine. Because race is an illusion, deep divers. We're all one. There's only one race on the planet. It's called the human race. What? Slow motion this side. So when you start to realize you aren't different than anybody else, you're just energy in human form, you start to realize that we're all the same. Everybody bleeds red. But how they've controlled you for so long is saying, hey, I'm white. Hey, I'm black. Hey, I'm Chinese. Hey, I'm Indian. No, you're not. That's just a program in the matrix. So it's time to wake up, deep divers, and shout out. Let me shout out to everybody, deep divers who's waking up. Round of applause. Shout out to everybody who's waking up. Deep divers, our truth is bigger than their illusion. So, like I told you, deep divers, the breaking news, which is huge, is that Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's madam and friend of Prince Andrew, is arrested in New Hampshire by the FBI on child sex trafficking charges and will appear in court later today. Why is this so important? Because deep divers, Jeffrey Epstein didn't get a chance to expose what was really going on. She knows just as much as Jeffrey Epstein. So she is very, very important right now to the Pizzagate, to the Pizza Express, to the sex trafficking, to the child trafficking. And I told you, deep divers, this is all about the adrenochrome, spirit cooking. I told you, deep divers, millions of young children are being kidnapped, abducted, and it's all about harvesting their energy. I told you, deep divers, behind the scenes, there's no American dream. There's only an American nightmare. It's time to wake up, deep divers. Shout out to everybody. Diving deep. Deep divers, we're just having fun right now. We're just having fun right now, deep divers. I told you, we're just having fun right now.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Oh, we're just having fun right now, deep divers. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you, deep divers. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ooh, I like that. Spirit Jar, shout out to you. This is humanity's last chance, deep divers. This is humanity's last chance. I told you. Spirit Jar knows what's up. This is humanity's last chance to say, hey, we ain't having it. I mean, what kind of a life is this, deep divers? This is what they want for you. This is what they want for your children. Take off your effing mask. Deep divers, this is what they want for your grandchildren. Don't you think it's odd that all of a sudden this has become the new normal? So it's time to wake up, deep divers. Oh, it's time to wake up. This is what they want. I told you. This is what they want for your babies. This is what they want for your grandchildren. They want your children to wake up every single day for the rest of their life wearing a damn mask. And if you are silent, I told you, silence equals complicity. So this is not the time to be silent. This is not the time to get on your knees and say, hey, no, this is the time, deep divers, that you are. It's time to get roaring, start making noise. You see, deep divers, the lions are always awake at the moonlight. Oh, baby. It's time to start roaring again, deep divers. It's time to start roaring again, deep divers. Absolutely. Absolutely. Silence is deadly. Silence is deadly, deep divers. You see, a lot of people say, hey, ain't got nothing to do with me. Good energy now, I appreciate you. Silence is deadly. It's deadly. Never more true than that. You see, deep divers, if you are silent to what's happening right now, does this look normal to you, deep divers? All of a sudden, the entire world has been turned upside down. And if you don't start speaking up to say, wait a minute, this is not how life has to be. Wait a minute, this is not how life has to be. You didn't come here just to do this every single day. Shout out to everybody diving deep once again. You see, deep divers, what's really going on? You have to follow the white rabbit. You have to follow, deep divers, the white rabbit. You have to make sure you are following the truth at all times. By any means necessary, deep divers, you have to make sure your eyes are opened. You see, deep divers, I want to remind you one thing. The caterpillar can teach us all so much. So much. It can teach us so much. SRAM, I appreciate you. The caterpillar can teach us so much. This is the state that humanity has been in for so long. But the metamorphosis, deep divers, is when you are no longer just a caterpillar. It's when you awaken to a higher state, a higher plane, and you become the butterfly. I told you, deep divers, there's always a white rabbit around. There's always a white rabbit around. Follow the white rabbit. Ever seen Alice in Wonderland, deep divers? Follow the white rabbit down the rabbit hole. It's going to take you, and it's going to show you things, deep divers, you haven't seen before. It's going to open your mind up. I want to remind you, deep divers. Now, you probably think, oh, Ralph, they've closed the schools. Like, only a few classes are open right now. Deep divers, they close the schools because they're going to have a new kind of school for your children. And in that school, for you to come inside, you're going to have to be tested for COVID-19. They're going to have to know if you've been tested or not. They're going to have to know if you've been vaccinated or not. So, like I say, keep your children out of school. Game over. It's game over, deep divers in the Matrix. You see, I want to remind you how this all came to pass. You see, I told you the government means govern mind. You should be your own government. You should be a sovereign being. You should be governing your own mind, not letting these people do it for you. But these people are just the employees, deep divers, of these people. See, I always say there's levels to this shit, deep divers. There's many, many levels. And people who you see in power, they don't have any real power. The people who have the power are behind the scenes. They don't even show their face, deep divers. Like the cat down the road. Oh, I like that. That's how they get us. Ooh, that's powerful right there. Woo! Divine Feminine Living UK, shout out to you. That's how they get us. It starts at 5 and in school. They teach us for years, but we can use their knowledge and learn even more. What? Slow motion this side. Say it again, Ralph. That's how they get us. It starts at 5 and in school. They teach us for years, but we can use their knowledge and learn even more. Whoa. That's a powerful statement, deep divers. I told you. We are the ones in the avatar James Cameron was talking about. The Navi, that's us. That's us, deep divers, and I told you. 666. What does that mean? 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. The beast they were talking about in the Bible is you, deep divers. You better start waking up. You better start waking up. Shout out to everybody diving deep. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep divers. You are appreciated. You got to remind yourself, deep divers. Let me play some music. I want to remind you, great things are still happening on the planet. Great things are still happening on the planet. So never feel that it's getting bad. If you're awake, this is a great time. We zoned out, deep divers. We zoned out. I had to take it there, deep divers. You see, I'm just showing you what music can really do for all of us. What music can do for all of us. You see, there is a way out of this madness, deep divers, and that's really to start appreciating the beauty of life all around you. Nature is still beautiful, deep divers. So don't be consumed with all the doom and the gloom that's happening on the planet. Remind yourself, you can create your own reality at all times. Shout out to you, Awakening Spirit. Shout out to Awakening Spirit. Love, love, love feels good, universe. Thank you for all the beautiful people you have created here on this planet. You see, deep divers, there are still beautiful people on the planet, still amazing people on the planet, deep divers, still wonderful people on the planet. And that is you on this chat. Shout out to you, deep divers. Shout out to you. Let me give some shout outs to you, deep divers. How's your day going? How's the show going? Monk, never stop making videos and spreading the truth. Thank you so much. I will never stop making videos because I told you, I love to do this. And also you, everybody who's sharing their truth right now, congratulations. Congratulations to you, deep divers, because you are part of the great awakening. You are part of the great awakening, deep divers, and it's wonderful. Oh, we zoned out, deep divers. We zoned out. Shout out to everybody diving deep once again in the chat. Like I told you, deep divers, what's really going on is that this is all a cover up. Because 2020, like I told you, 2020 is actually 2012 in the Ethiopian calendar. And 2012 was when the Mayan calendar ended, December 21st, 2012. So doesn't it feel like the end of the world, deep divers? You see, I already told you in 2019 and 2020, there is going to be an event bigger than 9/11. I already told you in a video in 2019. People said, Ralph, how did you know this was going to happen? Because I'm a seer. I already saw it. Because this is the last chance. And they're going all out. They have to lock down the planet. They have to create vaccinations right now because people are starting to wake up. And people are no longer just believing the mainstream. People are starting to wake up. They're starting to think for themselves. And that's a powerful, powerful way. You see, deep divers, I want to remind you, when you have time to think, you free yourself. They don't want people to think, deep divers. So deep divers, like I say, this is what they want you on. They just want you browsing and going from app to app. But you have to tune into yourself. This is how you free yourself from the matrix. 1111, I appreciate you. Jennifer Monroe, shout out to you. What a wonderful name. Shout out to everybody diving deep. Quit fast food. Absolutely. 7-day vegan challenge. Deep divers. You see, I want to remind you that great things happen when you leave fast food and when you embrace this. When you embrace this, deep divers. Just zoned out, deep divers. We just went on a trip, deep divers, of healthy living. You know, shout out to everybody diving deep once again. Shout out to everybody in the chat, deep divers. What's been on your mind? Shout out to everybody. You see, that's the thing. I can believe it. McDonald's meat factories, 90% of them had human DNA in them. Look it up. It's where the missing people are going. Oh my gosh. Deep divers, I told you. There is no American dream. There's only an American nightmare. Oh my gosh. Deep divers, shout out to everybody diving deep once again. Yes, that's wonderful. This is just the beginning, absolutely. You see, deep divers, like I told you, what's really happening right now on the planet? So we started off the show with the breaking news that came in. Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's madam and friend of Prince Andrew, is arrested in New Hampshire by the FBI on child sex trafficking charges and will appear in court later today. So I want you to keep an eye on Ghislaine Maxwell. The reason why is because Jeffrey Epstein, oh, I appreciate that. Pierre, what would you suggest to people that would have to take the vaccine or forced to? I'll come to that. Thank you. The reason why you want to keep an eye on Ghislaine Maxwell is because she is the last piece, the missing piece of the jigsaw. And she knows everything that happened on those trips with Jeffrey on the island. She knows exactly who was visiting the island. She knows exactly who was there. She knows exactly what was really happening. So I don't want them to say, well, you know, she died in custody. So you have to make sure that this woman stays alive so she can actually testify in court, so she can actually say what really happened. Because if they say, hey, well, we found her, she commits suicide in her cell, this is going to be the same thing that happened with Jeffrey. So you want to keep a close eye on Ghislaine Maxwell, because she knows a hell of a lot. And her father was also in the media business. If I'm not mistaken, he was the owner of one of the big newspapers in the UK. So she is very well connected. But like I told you, they already knew where she was. That was all a distraction. I want to remind you, deep divers, that everything is a distraction. Even Ghislaine Maxwell being found is a distraction, because it's taking you outside of yourself. You see, the only thing you need to be doing is this. That's the only thing you need to be doing. See, that's the only thing you need to be doing, deep divers. Make sure you're enjoying your life. Make sure you're enjoying your life. You see, everything that's happening in this matrix is a big distraction. Everything that's happening in this matrix is a big distraction to take you away from who you are, to take you away from the work you have to do. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep divers, I told you we're having fun right now. Ooh, I like that. Absolutely. That's powerful right there. The only world is the one inside of you. Lung buster. That's powerful right there. The only world is the world inside of you. The only world is the one inside of you, deep divers. That's a secret. There is no world out there. All of these are just stories designed to distract you and take you away from who you really are. Because if you are focusing on this, focusing on that, afraid of this, afraid of that, how are you ever going to connect with who you really are? Who you should be connecting with. This is who you should be connecting with, deep divers. So remind yourself, what's really going on is that they realize that, hey, people are starting to wake up. Because when the COVID-19 came out, people were already getting tired of being in lockdown, so they had to throw the protest out there. That took people's distraction. That took people's attention. Now people are starting to get bored again. So you got a big breaking story, Ghislaine Maxwell. So I told you, it's all like Shakespeare said, the whole world is a stage and everybody is an actor. Much love to everybody. Love is the only way. Deep divers, love is the only way. Absolutely. I want to remind you of this, deep divers, that when they try and give you the coronavirus passport, the COVID-19 passport, because that's what they want to have. That's part of the ID 2020. In other words, you have to make sure you're clear of the coronavirus before you can hop on a plane. This is what they want. Before the end of the year, They want a coronavirus passport. They already have the ID tracking app, which they can track people who have the coronavirus or not. Right? They can see if you got the coronavirus. Wait a minute. COVID-19 suspected. Temperature control, 38.5 degrees. Deep divers, I told you. Biometric identification. COVID-19 detection. This is what they want for you. But this was all designed a long time ago, deep divers. You got to listen to what Bill Gates was saying back in the 90s. And he already named this as Pandemic 1. He already said this is Pandemic 1, deep divers, which means there's more pandemics on their way. But you don't hear me though, deep divers. You're too busy caught up in Hollywood. Deep divers, it's over. Shout out to everybody diving deep. I hope everybody's going good in the chat. Omar, shout out to you, Omar. Now, deep divers, what do you think? Do you think that this virus is man-made or not? Some people think it's a naturally occurring virus. Angel Austin thinks, yeah, virus is man-made, stay in the light. What do you think, deep divers? Do you think it's a man-made virus, or do you think it's naturally occurring? I already think it's a man-made virus. But I know a lot of people are like, it's not a man-made virus. You know, a lot of scientists, you see, because I listen to everything, deep divers. A lot of scientists are saying it's not a man-made virus. Then some people are saying that it's been leaked from a lab in Wuhan. But like I told you, deep divers, they had to pull this off, because when you keep people in lockdown, this is what they want for you, deep divers. This is what they want for your children. That's what they want for you. You see, they want your children. This is what this is all about. They want your children in artificial intelligence. This is what this is all about, because 5G is the only network that can handle the speed of the future. So why do you think they banned David Icke off YouTube? David Icke was banned. He was censored. He was banned on Facebook, banned on YouTube. Why would you ban something if it's just a conspiracy? Unless it's the truth. What? Slow motion this side. So what this is all about is really the AI, the artificial intelligence. And if you are in lockdown, deep divers, what's going to happen? You're going to be on your phone all day. You're going to be on the computer all day. You're now afraid to go outside. You're now afraid to interact with other people. And this is what's become of your life. Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Hey, I love YouTube. I'm biased, deep divers. But deep dive the other way. And this is the way of nature. When you really awaken. We're inspired right now, deep divers. You see, this is what it's all about. I told you, there's many realities in existence. The one I just played is a marvelous one. So remind yourself, deep divers, what are you tuning into right now? What are you tuning into right now? Because I told you, how they get your attention is by distracting you with new stories. And they're telling you it's just a story anyway. That's why they call it a news story. It's not based in fact. It's a story, deep divers. It's made up. And they need your attention. So now COVID-19 has all the clout, deep divers. Oh, COVID-19 is a superstar right now. Everyone's talking about COVID-19. Right? Everyone is talking about COVID-19. And I want to remind you, deep divers, this is exactly what they want. They want you just to only be occupied with what they want you to be occupied with. You got to ask yourself the question, deep divers, how can a small amount of people lock down the planet, shut down half of the planet, keep 3 billion people in quarantine? What's really going on, deep divers, is that a lot of people don't realize there's levels to this shit, deep divers. And you will only know about this if you're in the occult, if you're into the sacred sciences, that these beings, I call them archons. I also call them inorganic beings. They've been controlling the planet for thousands of years. And they need fear to survive. This is how they survive, deep divers. This is food for them. So the more fearful you are, you produce food. Or, as we call it, adrenochrome. Deep divers, I told you. They say follow the money. And I say follow the white rabbit. So the breaking news, Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's madam and friend of Prince Andrew, is arrested in New Hampshire by the FBI on child sex trafficking charges and will appear in court later today. Can you see how this is linked to this? To this, deep divers? Sex trafficking? To this? Adrenochrome? To this? Are you starting to realize what I'm talking about? It's all connected, deep divers. This is about energy harvesting. And I got to do a whole video on spirit cooking. Deep divers. Do you know what spirit cooking is? Have you heard of spirit cooking? This is real, deep divers. Oh, it just got incredibly real. Deep divers, shout out to everybody in the chat. Deep divers, talk to me. Shout out to you, David. Let's bring it back to love. Absolutely. Shout out to David in the house. Love is the only reality. It is the ultimate truth that lies at the heart of creation. Thank you so much. That was empowering, deep divers. Love is the only reality. It is the ultimate truth that lies at the heart of creation. Deep divers, love is the only reality. It is the ultimate truth that lies at the heart of creation. Absolutely. Can I get a round of applause for that one, please? I'm clapping for you. Shout out to you, deep divers. Deep divers. So, like I say, remind yourself, love is the truth. It's the only truth worth tuning into. Oh, we're clapping for everybody right now who's on the love vibration, on the love frequency, deep divers. You see, I play a lot of music. 528 hertz, 432 hertz, and this is the secret science, okay? The secret science. 369, everyone should check out. Ashiana, Deanne, Camelot. Thank you very much for that. If you really realize the power of sound vibrations, I've been playing a lot of 432 hertz in the background, deep divers. We're zoning out, deep divers. You see, I just played a little 432 hertz meditation music. And I have a lot of videos on YouTube. You know, some even have 5 million views. Starboy33, I've been subbed for about 3 years. You literally got me out of a dark place. Peace and love and love and love. Love you too, brother. From Arizona, brother. Much love to you. See, music has a quality, has a power to really transform us from caterpillars into butterflies. So you want to make sure you're on the right frequency, the right vibration. I like that. Wonderful. Wonderful. Let me read this, deep divers. Snop put, follow your heart, take care of your body, and become one with yourself. You are the sun, the ocean, and everything around you. Remember who you are. You are one. Absolutely. Absolutely. Deep divers. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I told you. So much is happening right now. And 2020 is the year of the full disclosure. It's the year where the hidden is coming to light. Because what goes around comes around. And it doesn't matter how hard they try to convince us that it's for our own good. Hey, just take the vaccine. A lot of people are starting to say, wait a minute. I don't want this to be my reality. Wait a minute. I didn't come here just for this. Because you got to remind yourself, deep divers, they're taking precious time from your life away. See, this is what this is really about. It's about slowing you down. Because you got to remind yourself, there are some children who are born and they're COVID-19 babies. They were born in this lockdown. They were born in the coronavirus. They haven't even had a normal childhood. They haven't even had a normal childhood, deep divers. So you got to remind yourself that it's not just about, it's about the children who, from the moment they're born in this age, they got to wear a mask. So now people are starting to say, wait a minute, we ain't having it. Deep diver, shout out to everybody in the chat. Absolutely, lives are changing and they are adapting. They are changing, deep divers, and they are adapting. Absolutely. Lives are changing and lives are adapting. Deep divers, shout out to everybody in the chat. Matrix, shout out to you, Matrix. Generation Unplug. I like that name. Shout out to Matrix Generation Unplug. I appreciate that, Matrix Generation Unplug. Could you speak about anything about deconstructive fraud and disenfranchise government with reclaiming your birth certificate? Is it really possible? That's a great question. I want to remind you about the birth certificate, and I'll do a whole video on this. You see, I want you to know that, did you know, deep divers, for example, if you buy a car, you don't actually own it? That's why you have a driver's license. It actually belongs to the state. Do you know that you're being traded on the stock market? There's a reason why they write your names in capital letters, because you are a corporation. And this is why I told you, it's all about getting back to sovereignty. You see, we've also signed, when you sign on a birth certificate, you're basically signing your life away to the matrix. That's why they get someone to witness, they get someone to sign the birth certificate. And this is why so many people get screwed up in the system. So we have to even remind ourselves when we talk of really being free, being sovereign, we have to stop giving our energy to this fake system. You see, deep divers, this is how they control you. Trickery and deception, the two tools they use to keep you fast asleep. Throw in fear as well. Now they've got you on your knees begging for sweet Jesus. Deep divers. Shout out to everybody diving deep. I always say being free is your birthright, deep divers. Being free is your birthright. Being free is your birthright. Deep diver. Shout out to everybody in the chat. So, like I say, absolutely. Absolutely. We won since we were born. Woo! Slow motion this side. We won since we were born. Absolutely. See, I told you, deep divers, you already won. All you got to do is detach from the matrix. Then you've already won. Lynn Winters, I appreciate you. One love to all in the family. Vibe, tribe, and always much appreciation for you, Ralph. I appreciate you, Lynn. You are appreciated. All of you deep divers are appreciated. And I want to remind you, deep divers, you don't have to tune into their reality. You don't have to tune into what's going on out there. You can also tune into what's going on in here. David Ritchie, I appreciate that. David Ritchie came in on the 1111 wave, deep divers. How about that? Thank you, David. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes, you are worth it. Oh, baby. You are totally worth it, deep divers. And that's powerful. Speak your truth, deep divers. Keep speaking your truth. You see, we aren't the minority. We are the majority. But they've made it out as if those people who are questioning are crazy people. They're conspiracy theorists. They're up all night researching, and no, that's what you're supposed to be doing, deep divers. You're supposed to be waking up and getting as much information as you can to get your ass out of the matrix. But that's what's happening. And this is why their plan is failing. Every single day, the clock is ticking. So when you wake up and see that Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested, who's very important, the missing piece of the jigsaw, she knows everything that the so-called elites were doing on the island, who was there when they were there. And we have to make sure she stays alive so she can testify in court, so we can hear her side of the story, because you don't want them to say, hey, you know, she commits suicide in a cell. Because if they do that, then you'll never know what happened. So you want to keep a close eye on Ghislaine Maxwell, because she is the last hope to really know what happened on that island. Because it's got everything to do with this, deep divers. Oh, sorry, it just got incredibly real. Deep divers, we just came here to have fun, that's all. We came here to do a little dance, deep divers. We came here to do a little dance, deep divers. Shout out to everybody. We had to bring the high vibe back into the room, deep divers. See, that's what it's all about. It's all about doing the little dance, deep divers. I want to say, hey, can you dance better than this guy, deep divers? Because this guy's got the moves. I don't know what his name is, but he's got some moves, deep divers. Can you dance better than this guy? Woo! He's going hard with it, deep divers. If you can dance better than him, send me a video and I'll play it on the live stream. Alex, I appreciate that. Be our representation at the Galactic Federation of Light for Earth. I'm already there. Deep diver. Shout out to everybody who's on the live stream. Good dancing. Can you dance better than that, deep divers? You see, you got to dance past all of this bullshit. You got to make sure, deep divers, like I say, you're not just getting sucked in to the fear and the news stories. You know, loosen up. Start dancing a little bit. Shout out to everybody in the chat, deep divers. I see you. What's been on your mind, deep divers? I want to remind you of this, deep divers. I want to remind you of one thing. That there's always going to be things happening in the world. Whether it's Ghislaine Maxwell getting arrested, whether it's COVID-19, whether it's protests, there's always going to be something. But what's more important is what's going on in your own life, in your own world. Gatsby, I appreciate that. Please speak on Trump and Q if you believe they are the ones who are currently bringing down the satanic cabal and bringing in the Great Awakening. We need to know. Well, shout out to Q. Shout out to Q. Shout out to all the anonymous out there. Shout out to all the anonymous out there. You see, deep divers, there's been many people, not just Q and anonymous and all of these beings, entities. You know, there's been many. This is a great war we're in right now. This is spiritual warfare. And you have to remind yourself that even among the so-called elites, they're at war with each other. This is Star Wars, deep divers, Star Wars. So it's very complex. It's not as straightforward as you think. It's not as straightforward as you thinking, okay, everybody with a lot of money is bad. Some people are trying to help other people. Some people are trying to bring down this system and they have the resources to do it. So you have to use a lot of discernment. You know, always watch people's actions, listen to their words and see if they match up. What? Slow motion this side. I said you got to watch people's actions and see people's words and see if they match up. But like I told you, deep divers, you don't want to be focusing on Q. You don't want to be focusing on Trump. You don't want to be focusing on Ralph Smart. You don't want to be focusing on the cat down the road. You want to be focusing on you because you are the power. See, that's what my mentor taught me. We are the power, deep divers. It's time to wake up that you, yes, you are the power. We are the power, deep divers. That's a secret. We always were, and we always will be. So, like I told you, deep divers, we have to focus on that. We have to focus on our own lives. We have to focus on our own reality, not the reality they want to force down your throat. Shout out to everybody. And that's the thing. You really do make a difference. You make a difference. Believe it or not, you are tremendously powerful. Tremendously powerful, deep divers. It is alive. Shout out to you. Love to the cat down the road. The cat down the road loves you, deep divers. The cat down the road. Do you want to see the cat down the road, deep divers? You get shy sometimes on live stream, but I can bring it out. One love to all. Choose to do or not to do. Or not do. You make a difference. Shout out to you. And thank you for shouting out the cat down the road. You see, deep divers, cats are actually teachers. Okay, here's the cat down the road, deep divers. Isn't it cute? You know, the cat down the road just wanted to say it loves everybody on the live stream. The cat down the road just is saying it appreciates everybody. Deep divers. Shout out to everybody. And Yellow Boy VA, Dr. Smart, I appreciate your content, bro. You are my motivation to get my PhD in psychology and be a part of the healing process for people. Woo! I like that. We had to drop a bomb. Shout out to you. That comment was blessed, absolutely. Deep divers, like I say, I'm sending everybody good energy. Everybody good energy in this chat. And I just want you to remind yourself, deep divers, that it's not about what's going on out there. It's about what kind of life are you creating for yourself, your family, what's going on in your own personal life. That's the most important thing. Because everything that's happening out there has already been scripted. It's already part of the script. Everything, they're just playing you for fools. So, like I told you, Ghislaine Maxwell, they already knew where she was, but it wasn't time to say so because everyone was caught up in the protests, the COVID-19. Now is a perfect time to say, hey, we've arrested Ghislaine Maxwell. But deep divers, what if I told you they already knew where she was? Once again, the whole world is a stage and we're all actors. So don't fall for the okie doke. Shout out to everybody diving deep once again. Deep divers, it's time to start dancing again. It's time to start dancing again. We just had to dance a little bit, deep divers. We just had to dance because I always say you got to bring back the love. You got to bring back that positivity, deep divers. Deep divers, I love all of you. Shout out to everybody. We're raising the vibration, raising the frequency. And that's why I'm just saying, Feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? Beautiful deep diver. Shout out to you. I'm just, woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Sending you all good ass energy. Shout out to everybody on the chat. I appreciate you, deep divers. We had a phenomenal show, and I'll be back live streaming. Once again, a lot of people were saying, Ralph, I can't get your good ass prana shirts. They're not shipping to America. Yes, they are. ralphsmart.com/clothes, spreadshirt.com. Get your shirts, deep divers. Get more information like this on the book. In the book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon. Make sure you're feeling alive. And deep divers, add me on Instagram at official Ralph Smart. Shout out to everybody, deep divers. I'm here for you. I am here for you. Peace. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. You. Okay, so deep divers, I hope you enjoyed the show. We're just having fun. Make sure you're having fun today, tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that, and the day after that. To everybody in the chat, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody. I'm here for everybody, deep divers. I know you're here for me. And that's what it's about. You know, if you got a question, deep divers, drop it in the chat. Shout out to you. Wolf Mother, I'm here for you, Brother Ralph. I'm here for you too. I'm here for you most definitely. Opal, I like that. We are all unique and beautiful pieces of a larger connected puzzle. I love all of you. That's fantastic. That's a slow motion right there. Slow motion this side. Deep divers, we had fun on this show. Once again, sending you all good energy. Remind yourself every single day, deep divers, remind yourself, let love guide you, not fear. Have a beautiful day. Everybody in the chat, peace. Oh, baby.